Wrestlers, much like other celebrities, often appear on talk shows for interviews and promotions. However, unlike other celebs, they bring with them the physical intensity of the wrestling world, and sometimes things can go wrong, especially when hosts asked to experience wrestling moves firsthand. Here are some unforgettable moments where wrestlers attacked TV hosts.
Professional wrestling is my life!
Vader versus Bosman al-Othman, 1997. One of the most notorious incidents occurred on the set of Good Morning Kuwait in 1997. Wrestling legend Vader, real name Leon White, known for his brute strength and explosive temper, was being interviewed alongside fellow wrestler The Undertaker. During the segment, host Bosman al-Othman asked the dreaded question, "Is wrestling fake?" Vader did not take kindly to the remark. Enraged, he grabbed al-Othman by the tie, dragged him toward the set's desk, and threatened him live on air. Vader's actions landed him in hot water with Kuwaiti authorities, who detained him for several days. The situation escalated to the point that WWE had to pay a fine to secure his release. Interestingly, The Undertaker, who was seated next to Vader during the incident, stayed calm and professional throughout, despite the chaos. At the time of this incident, Vader was a huge star in both WWE and WCW, and he had also competed in Japan, where his stiff wrestling style earned him the reputation of being one of the toughest men in the business. David Schultz versus John Stossel, 1984. In 1984, investigative journalist John Stossel was working on an expose about professional wrestling for ABC's 2020. During his interview with David Schultz, a wrestler known for his tough guy persona, Stossel made the mistake of telling Schultz he thought wrestling was fake. Schultz, who took great offense to the comment, responded by slapping Stossel twice across the face. The slaps were so hard that Stossel later claimed he suffered from long-term ear damage, which resulted in a lawsuit. Schultz later revealed that WWE chairman Vince McMahon had allegedly told him to stay in character and make sure Stossel took wrestling seriously. Stossel eventually sued WWE for the injuries he sustained, and the company settled the lawsuit for $425,000. Ironically, just a few years later, McMahon would publicly admit that wrestling was scripted entertainment. Hulk Hogan and Mr. T vs. Richard Belzer, 1985. In one of the most infamous incidents involving a wrestler and a TV host, Hulk Hogan and Mr. T were promoting WrestleMania Wine on the show Hot Properties, hosted by Richard Belzer. Belzer, attempting to demonstrate how wrestling holds work, asked Hogan to apply a front chin lock, a version of a sleeper hold. Hogan, known for his immense strength and showmanship, put Belzer in the hold, but didn't seem to realize his own power. Belzer passed out and collapsed to the floor, cracking his head open on the hard studio stage. The host was knocked out cold, and when he came to, blood was streaming from his head. Hogan and Mr. T awkwardly finished the show while Belzer was rushed to the hospital. Belzer would later sue Hogan for $5 million, though the case was settled out of court for an undisclosed sum in 1990. Sin Cara versus Adrian Marcelo, 2018. In 2018, the masked luchador Sin Cara, real name Jorge Arias, appeared on the Spanish-language TV show SN Serio to promote upcoming events while recovering from knee surgery. During the interview, co-host Adrian Marcelo made the bold move to challenge Sin Cara to a chop-off a test of who could hit the hardest. Marcelo went first, delivering a mild chop to Sin Cara's chest, but it seemed to have no effect. When Sin Cara retaliated, his chop was so powerful that Marcelo winced in pain and even opened his shirt to reveal a large, red welt across his chest. While it was all in good fun, Marcelo's visible injury spoke volumes about the power behind Sin Cara's hit. What fans might not know is that this wasn't the first time Marcelo had been on the receiving end of a wrestler's chop. Several WWE and independent wrestlers had appeared on SN Serio and gave him similar treatment. The incident cemented the show's reputation as a place where wrestlers often leave their mark, literally. Eugene versus North Dakota news anchor, 2006. Former WWE wrestler Eugene, real name Nick Dinsmore, appeared on a North Dakota TV station in 2006 to promote an upcoming wrestling event. Eugene, who played a comedic and eccentric character in WWE, decided to demonstrate some wrestling holds on a news anchor who wore a chicken mask for comedic effect. What started as a lighthearted segment took a surprising turn when Eugene tackled the anchor to the floor and applied a headlock. The anchor, visibly surprised, played along but winced in pain as Eugene slapped him across the face. Despite the intensity, the segment ended on a humorous note, with Eugene delivering his trademark line,
"We are going to be back in just a few minutes."
What you gonna do, brother?
This wasn't the first time the anchor had been roughed up by a wrestler, Pat Tanaka. Known for his time in WWE as part of the Orient Express, had also demonstrated moves on him in a previous segment. Wrestlers may be trained for the ring, but sometimes their intensity spills over into the real world, leaving TV hosts and all of us shocked. Whether it's a well-placed chop or an unexpected injury, these unforgettable moments show that anything can happen when you bring the world of wrestling into live TV. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more wild wrestling stories and behind-the-scenes moments. And don't forget to comment below with your favorite wrestler TV host incident. You might even get a shout-out in our next video.